Who turned you into this guy? Did something turn
America and my mother. You know, I was born in the Soviet Union. I didn't come up with much. So adversity, America, my mom, and my dad, because when I was 14 and started working at my dad's liquor store for $2 an hour, I was so full of shit, and he sucked it out of me over 10 years because he hates lying and bullshit. Sure. And so he scared me. I was scared to embellish, let alone lie. I don't get upset when people are like, yo, this guy's full of shit.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, I understand. I actually had that in me, but my dad systematically took it out. And I think it comes from lack of entitlement. I turned 14, and by being the oldest son in an immigrant family, my dad dragged me into the store, small store in Springfield, New Jersey, Shoppers Discount Liquors. I went from making $2,000 a weekend, looking cool to the ladies with all my cash, to being paid $2 an hour to bag ice in my dad's liquor store for 10 hours a day. And more importantly, I wasn't allowed to leave the basement. I was truly like Sloth from Goonies. You know, I was like, hey, you guys, terrible, hated it. Used to cry going to work for the first year and a half. Finally, when I was like 16, my dad let me leave the basement. So I went upstairs to dust bottles. And in 1998, I took over the family business. And from 1998 to 2005, I grew the revenue of Wine Library from a $3 to a $60 million a year business. I had a burning desire to pay back my parents for being the best. I was passionate, like just obsessed with building my family business for them because they had put me on so much emotionally. Not, you know, people always say, you know, when people like to razz me, they're like, easy for you to say you were given a liquor store. I wasn't. I built a business for my family and left with no economics because emotionally my parents perfectly parented me, which has now been the foundation of all my success. There's only one way to win a family business: radical candor. And you know how easy that is in a family business? Almost impossible. So I'm giving you advice that's hard, radical candor. You're just gonna lose, it's gonna eat you inside. And I have good news for you. This is the only chance to have a good relationship with them, not the other way around. You think you're doing the right thing to have a good relationship with them. You're leading to the things that's gonna make you have regrets and real issues with them, and you're gonna snap, and you guys are gonna have a bad relationship. Second, third generation family business people pay the biggest tax in the world, and when they're fucking talented, they really are fucked. You know what family business dynamics are good for? Losers. That's when you're lucky, when you suck shit, and you're the one benefiting. You know when family businesses suck? When you're a winner, and you're paying a tax nobody's ever paid in life. It wasn't about how many impressions you got or how many awards you won in fucking Cannes. It was about, if we didn't sell fucking Pinot Noir, we weren't gonna eat, right? So it was results driven. My dad and I, for all the things we agreed on, all the things we disagreed on, thank God we loved each other just enough more than we loved the business, which allowed us to keep a relationship. But 99% of our energy was always about the business for the long term. You know, it's easy for everybody from the outside saying, yo bro, stop carrying your sister and your uncle and everybody's getting money off your back. If it makes you feel good and you're okay with 15 cents in a dollar or 50 cents in a dollar, well then that's your life. So I would say this, if you've got a problem with it and your friends are saying that because they're supporting what you're saying after 4 beers, that's one thing. But if they're just observing from the outside and they're starting to change your mind, I wouldn't let outside sources tell you what to do with inside a family dynamic. At the end of the day, if you are the parent in the situation of a family business, or if you are the child in the situation of a family business, you have to deeply understand that when both of you are done and finished, nobody's gonna count how many zeros they have in the bank account. They're gonna count how many hearts and vibes and loves are in the system. What my dad and my brother and I were capable of doing was loving each other just a little bit more than the business making some more money or the ego or insecurity scratches that we needed in the dynamic of our relationships. If there's anything that this film could get across to you, I hope it is that at the end of the day, on that last breath, ask yourself what you're gonna be really thinking about.